Hello everyone. So today I'm going to talk about reflection. So when we are talking about reflections, you really need to know two things. Number one, it's a flip over a line. So let's say I have shape and I named it as A, B, and C. Okay, it's a flip over a line. So let's say your y-axis is the line. So for example, let me just show you. So this is my shape A, B, and C. Now I'm going to reflect it, okay, over this line. So let's do the reflection. So that means you'll have to flip this over. So let's flip it over and let's place it here. Now here comes the second important part, that every point is the same distance from the mirror. What this means, every point is the same distance from the mirror. So you look at A and you see this is your mirror, right? Let's call it M line. That is your mirror line. Okay, if you look at here, your A is exactly 1 unit away from the mirror. That means the reflection is also 1 unit away from the mirror, and I named it as A prime. This is called prime. Okay, so A becomes A prime. Now look at B. So B is from the mirror, it's 7 units away. That means the reflection will be also 7 units away. So you can count it and you'll see it is 7 units away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Same for your C. C is also 7 units away. So that means from the mirror it will be also 7 units away. So that's the basics of reflection. So it's a flip over a line, and every point after the reflection should be the same distance from the mirror. Okay, now there are 3 types of reflection. Vertical, that we just talked about, so we went vertically, that is across the y-axis. We can also have horizontal reflection. So let's say this is my shape, okay, and now we're gonna have a horizontal reflection. So for horizontal reflection, this is your x-axis. Now be careful when you're flipping it over, your shape is 1, 2, 3, 4 units away from the mirror line. That means when you're flipping it over, you have to make sure that it is also 4 units away from the mirror line. So here you go, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it has to be 4 units away. So I have to place it exactly here. Now to check this, now you can see from this mirror, this is your mirror line, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means this must be my B prime. Your A prime, see, is 1, 2, 3, 4, so it must be 4 units away. And the last C, you can see it is 10 units away from the mirror, so the reflection is also 10 units away from the mirror. So that's your C prime. So vertical, horizontal, and the last one is a diagonal reflection. So what is a diagonal reflection? Let's say my shape is, for example, is, let's say it's, let's place it here. Okay, now for a diagonal reflection, so let's say I have a diagonal line. For example, let's place a line. Okay, let's just make a diagonal line here. So that's a diagonal line, right? So that means the reflection will happen across this line. So it will happen diagonal. So let's just move, let's just make it simpler. Let's move it here. Okay, now when you're reflecting it, you have to consider diagonal distance. So if my shape is here, so see the diagonal distance from the mirror is half of this square. That means the reflection will happen half of this square too. So that means my reflected image, if this is my A, let's mark this as A. So diagonally I have to move, so that'll be my A prime. Now what about the other sides? So it's gonna be the same So if you reflecting it over, so you're gonna have a shape like, so just make sure you're flipping over correctly. So you're gonna flip it over like this, or let's just keep this shape here and get the other one. So remember, this is your shape, right? You are reflecting it diagonally, so that means this will become your A. So your shape will look something like this. So that is diagonal. Okay, now let's look at some questions. So let's look at a question. So a question says, reflect the shape across x is equal to 2. Now you know it's simple when it says x-axis, y-axis, or a diagonal reflection. So sometimes you'll see a question like reflect the shape, reflect a shape across, let's say y is equal to -2 or x is equal to 2. So how do you do this? So this time we are not considering the y or x axis as our mirror. This time we're considering y is equal to -2. So there are two questions here. One is reflect the image over across y is equal to -2 and x is equal to 2. So let's find where is y is equal to -2. So if we look at our coordinate system, here is y is equal to -2. So now where is the mirror line? Remember, when you are reflecting, you must find the mirror line first. Now I know y is -2 is here. So what this means? This means if we go along this line, everywhere the y value is always -2. Let's just see. So let's pick a point here. What is the coordinate of this point? This is 9 and -2. Let's pick a point along this line. Let's say here. This coordinates is -2, -8 and -2. Let's pick another point along the line. Pick this one, -4 and -2. Now if you look carefully, you see your y is always -2. No matter where you go on this line, your y will be always -2. So that's your line of reflection. Okay, so that means the reflection will happen across this line, and this line is called y is equal to -2, where the y value doesn't change but the x values are changing. So this time, instead of considering the x axis, you are considering this line for your reflection. Now if this is your image, now you look at carefully. So this is 1 2 3 4 5 6. So that means your shape is 6 units away from the line of reflection, which is y is equal to -2. That means when you're reflecting the image, it will be also 6 units away from the line of reflection. So this is my shape. Let's put it here. And when you're doing the reflection, make sure it is 6 units away from the mirror line. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you are exactly here. Okay, so that'll be your reflection. The second one, it says x is equal to 2. So where is x is equal to 2? Okay, so x is equal to 2 is here. Now your line of reflection is this for x. So how do I know this is my line of reflection? I know this because let's pick a point on this line. What is this value? This is 2 and 8, right? Let's pick another value here. What is this value? This is 2 negative 7. Let's pick another one, this one. What is this value? 2 and negative 10. So no matter where you go, your x is always 2, but y is changing. That means this line is called x is equal to 2. So that means reflection will happen across this line. So for example, let's say I have a shape placed here, okay, and you can see from this line my shape is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units away. That means when I'm reflecting this shape, it will be also 5 units away from the line x is equal to 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So exactly it's here. When you're doing the reflection, it will be 5 units away. Let's just make sure I'm right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is my reflection. I'm sorry, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm right. Okay, so that will be your reflection. Okay, right. And so for example, if I now say x is equal to negative 2, now you know that this is your line of reflection, because on this line your x is always negative 2 no matter what is the value of y. If I say something like y is equal to 2, where is y is equal to 2? This is your y is equal to 2. That means your line of reflection is here. Okay, so two important things. One is flip over a line, and when you're flipping over a line, just make sure that every point is the same distance from the mirror. Okay, the last type of question that you will see is something like you'll be given coordinates. Let's say, what is the coordinates of this? So if we look at A is what? It is I'm sorry, it's 1 and 4. Your B is 7 and 4, and your C is 7 and 9. So you'll be told that, okay, we have a shape A 1, 4, B 7, 4, and C is 7, 9. Okay, you'll not be given the shape or the graph. You'll just be given these 3 points. Now the question will be said, okay, reflect it over x axis or y axis and find the coordinates. Now one thing, when we do the reflection, so this is my y axis, right? When you do the reflection, let me go and show you. So it's a flip over, and you see the distance must be 1 unit away from the mirror, so we must be here. Okay, now if we look at the coordinates of A prime, the coordinates is what? It is negative 1 and 4. If we look at B prime, that is negative 7 and 4. And if you look at C prime, the coordinate is negative 7 and 9. So now if you look at very carefully, what's happening here is that your x value, you'll have negative. So 1 becomes negative 1, 7 becomes negative 7, and your 7 becomes negative 7. Okay, so if you have this question like if you have given 3 points and you have to find the coordinates, this is the rule that you need to know. Okay, if you're reflecting over x-axis, your x is unchanged and y becomes negative y. And if we do reflection across y-axis that we just did here, you can similarly do reflection across x-axis. Alright, so we did y. So for y, this is the rule. Your x becomes negative x, and y remains the same. So if you look at here, 1 becomes negative 1. B, your x is 7, it becomes negative 7. X is 7, it becomes negative 7. Now if you think that this is your image here, and now this time if the question says reflect it across x-axis and find out the coordinates, so remember this is 1 2 3 4 units away, so that means the reflection will be also 1 2 3 4 units away. Now if you look at the coordinates of b prime, I'm just going to show you one of them. If you look at the coordinates of b prime, you can see this is 7 and your y is -4. Now your original b is 7 and 4, so now you see it becomes 7 and -4, so your y value is changing. Okay, so that's all about reflection, and if you have any questions, comment here. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.